I'm Doug Imbo with the Lewis Winch Company. Today I'd like to show you another use for the Lewis Winch snatch block. I say another use because the Lewis Winch snatch block can be used for two reasons. One, it can double the pulling power of the Lewis Winch. Now, to be used for that, you mount the snatch block onto the load, wind the cable through, bring it back to your original anchor point. Because you have double the cable, you get double the pulling power, and that takes the Lewis Winch from 4,000 pounds to an 8,000 pound pulling capacity. But today we're going to use it for pulling around corners. We've got a big 2,000 pound log that's over here, and we've got a very narrow corridor here that we want to pull it through up to our anchor point, which is on the back of my pickup truck. So we've got this handy tree that happens to be just in the right spot. So what I've done is I've taken a Lewis Winch tree saver belt and I've wrapped it around the tree, which is a good idea because if you use a cable or use chains, you're going to damage the bark and you're going to kill the tree. We don't want that to happen. So now that I've got the tree saver belt in place, and I've also got a belt wrapped around my log, all we have to do is mount the snatch block onto this tree via the tree saver belt, run our Lewis Winch cable through, and then over to our log. When we've got that accomplished, then we can fire up our chainsaw, pull the log over to this point, then we can disconnect it from the tree and do a straight pull back as far as we want to go by moving the anchor point, which is the pickup truck in this case. So the Lewis Winch snatch block has a handy little swivel pin on it, so it's easy to open it up. And once that pin is pulled out, no tools required, you open up two sections. Now the first section is where you want the cable to go. So what we've done, we've already run our cable out to this point, so that goes to the snatch block and we close that part up. Now the next part just flips onto the end of the Lewis Winch tree saver belt, and that closes up. Now when that's all closed up in place, the little swivel pin drops into place, and that's ready to go. Now what I can do is I can put my gloves on so I don't hurt myself with the cable, and I can walk that cable over and hook it up to the tree we have ready to go, and then we can pull it in. So I'll walk that cable over now. Now I've got a tree saver belt already wrapped around our log, so I can just hook the cable on like that, and we're ready to start our pull. Now that we have our cable all hooked up, run through our snatch block and attached to our log, we have to reconnect the clutch on the Lewis Winch. You simply turn in this knob until it clicks, then you know you've got a solid lock. Now we can fire up the saw and take up the slack in the cable first, and when the slack's all up, we can open up the saw and pull it in. On with the switch. Okay, we're going to take up the slack. Now that we've completed that section of the pull, we can come over here and easily release our snatch block. And once that's been taken off, we're already still connected to our log, so we can go start up the saw again and finish our pull. Now you can see how easy it is for us to change directions of our log to a 90-degree angle. Now remember, using it this way, snatch block does not double the pulling power, but it's used just to change directions. That's how the Lewis Winch does that.